in Naaman Forest Boulevard. NBC5's Kevin Coakley is there live with the latest. Kevin?
Amanda, we're on the north side of the Bush Turnpike. That's just on the other side from the Walmart, those other stores you mentioned that were evacuated when the shooting happened. Only about a block away from those evacuations. Just about an hour ago, we did manage to get right across the street from those stores. That was before Garland police moved us over here, told others with us to move back even further. The police have several streets blocked off. Garland Road, other frontage streets along the Bush Turnpike. And that makes it impossible to get even close to the convention center right now. NTTA trucks are blocking off the exit ramps from the Bush Turnpike, but we did manage to talk to a few people who were inside the Walmart, heard that gunfire.
We heard a bunch of pop and we thought it was fireworks. My wife's like, no, that's gunshots.
That was kind of weird because we heard them just go pop, 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 pop real quick, and there was a little pause and there was another pop, 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 pop real quick. So I was like, that is gunshots. And then all of a sudden they made an announcement over Walmart speaker, you know, everybody make your final selections, get up to the front. And like he said, when we got up there, this cop was just frantic. He was like, get out now. And he was telling if you don't get out now, you're getting locked in here.
Needless to say, everybody got out of that store as quickly as possible, left the parking lot. Police have had Garland Road blocked off, preventing anyone from even getting close to the Walmart, those other stores. They are letting people get to the Super Target on the other side. This is about as close as you can get from this side of the turnpike. But for now, Garland police remain here while the bomb squad checks out that suspect's car. Live in Garland, Kevin Coakley, NBC5.
All right, thank you, Kevin. And we're going to take a live look from Chopper 5 right now over the Curtis Caldwell Center in Garland, where reports of 2 men were shot and killed. We also have a report of a Garland ISD officer who was shot. He was injured, but he has been released from the hospital. As we mentioned earlier, people from the convention center have been taken to an undisclosed location. Police have asked us not to give away that location.
And what you're looking at right now from Chopper 5 is, in fact, the Caldwell Conference Center. NBC5 photojournalist David Bridewell is on the phone near where the evacuees from that area were taken. So, David, how many people are you seeing right there?
So we just saw about 2 bus loads of people unload into this undisclosed location. Security's pretty tight out here. We have officers walking around that are armed with rifles, and nobody's getting in or out of this location without express permission from these guys. So it seems to be pretty locked down. And earlier, there was the local fire department that came through and delivered some ice for the evacuees. And right now, we're just standing by to see what develops out here.
And David, this incident happened around 7 o'clock. Did you notice if they were bringing in food or any water to the folks that were being evacuated?
I didn't notice any food or water. I'm sure that that is one of their priorities at this point. But as far as from the vantage point that we have here, because they have pushed us back some distance, I didn't see any food or water delivered at this time.
All right, David Bridewell, thank you for checking in with us right now. We'll check back with you a little later. The event that was being held inside the Caldwell Center was the Muhammad Art Exhibit and Contest by the American Freedom Defense Initiative. We are told by Garland Police about 200 tickets were sold for this event. The art exhibit and contest featured cartoons of the Prophet Muhammad. It's part of the reason security at the Curtis Caldwell Center was very tight. Garland Police say organizers spent about $10,000 on extra security.
You're not welcome here.
Now, back in January, thousands of protesters and counter-protesters held American flags and signs outside of the Muslim conference at the same center where the shooting happened today. Now, the conference was titled Stand with the Prophet Against Terror and Hate. It was a fundraiser to build a center to dedicate to teaching Muslims how to combat negative depictions of their faith. Because of safety and protest concerns there, the organizers asked for extra security, but there were no arrests.
And as we take another look, a live look from Chopper 5 from the Caldwell Cultural Center, we can tell you 3 people were shot outside the center during a Draw the Prophet Muhammad event. Police say two men drove up in a car and shot a Garland ISD officer. Garland police shot and killed the two men. The officer was taken to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. We also want to mention the car you see there is the car that was involved in the shooting. The two men who were killed, their bodies are still in that area, and that is why Chopper 5 is keeping a very wide look at this scene.
And I also want to mention that the Garland ISD officer who was shot, he was released from the hospital. Right now, we are working to get you updated information on this situation here. We sent you alerts from our NBC DFW app shortly after the story break. And if you haven't already, download our NBC DFW app so you can get breaking news anytime. We're going to take a quick break and we'll be back.
All right, local coverage there from affiliate KXAS as they were covering exactly what's happening on the ground. Of course, we have our own Jay Gray who's gathering information there. NBC News correspondent Jay Gray doing that for us. We also have Clint Van Zandt and as well Jim Kavanaugh, who has been with us all evening covering this. And one of the points that we may take it if we take this discussion to the next step, and that is the Muslim community in that area. They were noting in local coverage there how there was a Muslim conference in January, and then now in the month, the first day of, early days of May, we are looking at this event that's being put on by another group based out of New York. This group that is called the American Freedom Defense Initiative, listed by the Southern Poverty Law Center as an active anti-Muslim group. So those are sort of the bookends of what we're looking at today, at least if we can say bookends in recent time. Jim Kavanaugh, who's a former ATF special agent in charge, used to live in that area, and you were telling us you lived in Plano, Texas, which is right next door there to Garland, Texas. Describe what you know about the Muslim American community in that area right outside of Texas, because again,